Look at the night sky. Among thousands of cold, flickering points, one stands out with its steady, heavy, yellowish glow. The ancient Romans, looking up at the stars, named it after the king of the gods, Jupiter. In our minds, it is a majestic protector, a giant shield of the solar system that has spent billions of years pulling in dangerous comets and asteroids, guarding our fragile Earth. We are used to seeing it in beautiful Hubble images, perfect marble patterns, aesthetic swirls of clouds, the jewel of the cosmos. But what if I told you that this beauty is nothing more than a masterfully set trap? What if our protector is, in fact, the most ruthless predator, locked in a gravitational dance around the sun? Imagine for a moment that you were leaving the cozy orbit of Earth and heading toward it. At first, Jupiter looks like an endless canvas of a brilliant artist. Ochre stripes, creamy vortices, majestic storms the size of entire continents. But as your ship approaches this boundary, you begin to feel something is wrong. The sun does not shine here. Its rays drown helplessly in a dense, suffocating atmosphere, which turns into an impenetrable wall of ammonia and sulfur. Jupiter is not just a planet in the way we understand it. It is a monstrous gravitational anomaly, 318 times the mass of Earth. Scientists know a chilling fact. If Jupiter had gained just a little more mass at the moment the solar system was born, it would have ignited as a second star. We would have had two suns, and life on Earth, as we know it, would never have begun. But it stopped halfway to triumph, remaining an eternal monster, trapped in the body of a gas giant. Its gravity is so immense that it literally deforms the fabric of space around itself, turning everything nearby into a zone of total chaos. And the most terrifying part does not begin when you see its ominous rings, or its dozens of moons. The real horror sets in at the moment you realize there is no way back. You are entering a space where the laws of physics, the ones you are used to in your warm bed on Earth, begin to die slowly and painfully. Welcome to a world ruled by primal terror and infinite pressure. Welcome to Jupiter. Most planets we know have a solid surface, a ground to walk on. But Jupiter is a ghost planet. It has no surface in the sense we understand. You cannot land here. You can only fall. And this fall will be the longest, darkest, and most agonizing journey imaginable. Imagine entering the upper cloud layers. At first, it is just a mist. But after a few minutes, the light of the sun vanishes forever behind your back. You are left in absolute, sticky darkness, where pressure grows with every passing second. Your spacecraft, built from the strongest titanium alloys, will begin to groan and deform. At a depth of just a few hundred kilometers, the atmosphere will become so thick that you will not be flying, but literally clawing your way through it, like boiling syrup. But let's look even deeper, into the abysses where no human mind dares to go. At a depth of 10,000 kilometers, the laws of nature go insane. Under the weight of thousands of atmospheres, ordinary hydrogen, a gas considered the lightest on Earth, turns into something impossible. It becomes liquid metal. Imagine an endless remorse, raging abyss of glowing, liquid metallic hydrogen. This substance does not exist on Earth in any laboratory. It is a child of pure pressure and heat. This ocean of liquid metal is constantly boiling, creating giant electrical currents. This is where the real killer is born, Jupiter's magnetic field. It is 20,000 times stronger than Earth's and stretches for millions of kilometers into space, creating an invisible radiation cage. Jupiter literally shoots radiation at everything that comes near. For a human without protection, it is like standing in front of an open nuclear reactor. Your cells would begin to break down before you even realized what happened. But even this boiling ocean of metal is only the outer shell. Scientists are still fighting over the mystery. What lies at the very heart? A dissolved, glowing core of rock and ice, 15 times heavier than Earth. Or is there only a singularity of pressure left, turning matter into primal chaos? If Jupiter has a face, it is the Great Red Spot. You've seen it on every school diagram, on every wallpaper. A small, blood-red oval, frozen in eternal motion. But the human eye cannot comprehend the scale of this catastrophe through a monitor screen. This storm is not just a hurricane. It is planetary madness, a vortex wider than our entire Earth. If you threw our planet into this whirlpool, it would simply drown, like a pebble in a pond. We know this monster has been raging for at least 350 years, since the first astronomers pointed their primitive telescopes at the sky. No, reality is, it could have existed for thousands, if not millions of years, before we even appeared. This is not just wind, it is a giant heat engine, pumping energy from the planet's burning interior. Winds at the edges of this spot scream at speeds over 450 kilometers per hour. That is twice as fast as the most destructive tornadoes on Earth, the ones that erase cities from existence. But on Jupiter, such storms are just a typical Tuesday. Inside these clouds of ammonia, ice, lightning is constantly born. But these are not the flashes we are used to. Each Jovian lightning strike is thousands of times more powerful than Earth's. They pierce the black sky with giant branches, momentarily lighting up endless canyons of clouds, reaching depths of 100 kilometers. Recent data from NASA shocked the scientific community. The Great Red Spot has begun to shrink and change shape. It is becoming taller and paler. Does this mean the Great Storm is finally dying out? Or is it simply transforming into something even more dangerous? Jupiter is an eternal war of the elements. Its famous stripes are rivers of methane and sulfur, flowing in opposite directions at insane speeds. The friction between these rivers births hundreds of smaller vortices, each capable of swallowing Mars. We look at these clouds and see aesthetics, but if we could hear the sound of this atmosphere, the roar and crash would simply drive us insane. Jupiter does not like solitude. It has surrounded itself with a real army, over 90 moons. But this is not a peaceful neighborhood. It is an empire built on gravitational slavery. Each of its moons is a victim, slowly tortured by Jupiter's massive weight. Take, for example, Io. It is the most hellish place in the solar system. Jupiter's gravitational vice is so strong that it literally squeezes and stretches this small moon like a piece of clay. This friction heats Io's interior to the point where its surface is covered with hundreds of active volcanoes, spewing sulfur directly into open space. Nearby lies its complete opposite, Europa, a silent, icy sphere, locked in a shell of frozen water. We look at it with hope, for beneath this ice lies an ocean containing more water than all of Earth's seas combined. But life there is a dance on the edge of a blade. Jupiter's gravity warms Europa's ocean, keeping it from freezing. But at the same time, it blasts the surface with radiation that would char any organic matter in minutes. Jupiter gives life with one hand and threatens to take it back with the other. This giant is the invisible shepherd of our entire system. For thousands of years, it has cleared the path for Earth, swallowing asteroids or throwing them into the outer darkness. But sometimes, the shepherd goes mad. Computer models show a terrifying truth. In the distant past, Jupiter began to migrate inward, moving toward the sun, crushing the seeds of other planets into dust. We are only alive because Saturn, with its own gravity, pulled its insane brother back. In July 1994, humanity received a lesson in what this king is capable of. The comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 was torn apart by Jupiter into 21 fragments, which slammed into its atmosphere with the force of millions of atomic bombs. Scars the size of Earth remained on the planet's face for months. Jupiter reminds us of how insignificant our history is. On the scale of this eternal storm, we are just a fleeting moment. We call it the king of planets, but perhaps it is our ultimate jailer. It reminds us that deep space is closed to those who are not ready to face true chaos. The next time you see that bright yellow dot in the night sky, do not just admire its beauty. Remember the pressure that turns gases into metal, the radiation that burns through electronics, and the storm that is older than our entire civilization. Jupiter is not just watching us from the darkness, it is waiting. If you want to continue this journey through the most dangerous corners of our universe, stay with us. There are still many abysses waiting for their explorer. See you at the next frontier.